Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick Fa La La Latte candle from Bath& Body Works. The notes on this read: a shot of espresso and sweet vanilla foam topped with warm cookie crumbles. Yeah, so I was really excited for this one when I first bought it. And now I kind of feel like it's like one of those been there, done that type of fragrances. This is just so immensely similar to the Ciao Bella Sweet Tiramisu candle that first came out, and then it got repackaged as pumpkin spice latte many times. And then we have a slight variation of it with this candle. So you get pretty much like the base of that sweet tiramisu pumpkin spice latte candle. It's like heaps of this like vanilla creaminess to it. And because it came out as a tiramisu candle first, I always equate it with like the cream in between like the sponge cakes of the tiramisu dessert. And it kind of smells like that. It's just like has a very much like a vanilla cream fragrance mixed with like something slightly cakey or cookie-ish. I guess it's supposed to be cookie in this, but it was kind of like sponge cake or ladyfingers in the tiramisu candle. And there's maybe like a tad bit of like a brown sugar fragrance that's supposed to evoke like some type of cake or bakery fragrance, and that's mixed with heaps of that like vanilla cream. It's actually really delicious as a like slightly elevated like vanilla cream bakery fragrance. It's kind of what I see this as, and I enjoy it for that. But not so much as a coffee candle. That's then mixed with a little bit of a like sweet caramel fragrance to it. It's not as like heavy or cloying as like the caramel brulee latte candle, which is just pumpkin caramel latte, which is also creme caramel, and the maple cinnamon pancake candle. It's not as cloying or sweet as the caramel that we get in that, or even like sweet kettle corn or whipped coffee has almost like the super cloying heavy caramel fragrance. It's not quite as heavy and cloying as that, but there's definitely a little bit of a sweetness coming from a caramel in here that's what makes it a little bit different from pumpkin spice latte and sweet tiramisu, is that there's a little bit of a sweet caramel element that makes it even sweeter than those other two candles. So you get that mixed with that vanilla cream. And then lastly, it's like one of those like implied coffee notes. It doesn't actually smell a whole lot like real actively brewing coffee. It's very much in the route of like the like International Delights like sort of imitation coffee that you get in the cartons at the grocery store, where it's like it's kind of coffee but it's kind of not at the same time. It's very much like that. Same with like whipped coffee. I make that reference of like there being like coffee that you spilled on the counter and there's like residual elements of it left over, and you kind of smell that in the environment in the distance, but it's not like the actively brewing, roasting, bold, toasty, like espresso brewing at a coffee shop. It is not like that. So, like Paris Cafe is very much that experience. This is not that experience. So, I would say the coffee is probably like the last note that you get from this. I know everything's open to interpretation, so there would be some people who'll still be like, yeah, this is a super strong coffee candle to me. But in my opinion, in my nose, it's not at all like the bold roastiness of like Paris Cafe, of an actively brewing shot of espresso. It is not like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what this smells like. So not too much of a coffee fragrance, like a vanilla cream mixed with caramel, and then like a slight implied or residual coffee note somewhere chilling in the background. And it's just pretty much like a variation of pumpkin spice latte or sweet tiramisu. They just add a little bit of a extra caramel element in there, but overall it's just like this kind of like still pleasant, but kind of just like generic, like bakery vanilla caramel fragrance experience. And it's very much like I've been there, done that. We've been here before. We've smelled this type of thing from Bath and Body Works. So that's pretty much what it smells like. Let me go into the performance. This is a fifth burn, and it's doing fine. It does suck quite a bit. I trimmed these to very, very, very small nubs. That's like the massive core wicks that just like make huge mushroom tops if you don't trim them enough. And it does soot quite a bit, and it burns very hot, so make sure you're on top of trimming those wicks. As for the throw, it's actually lighter than, even though there's an added caramel note, so you would think it would be stronger, it's actually lighter than sweet tiramisu or pumpkin spice latte. Somewhere in like just like the 4 to 5 range. It's not unscented, and I can still smell it, and it's still pleasant and present in a bedroom area, but it does get a little bit lost in an open concept area. It's more like a 4 in there and then a 5 in a bedroom. Very just medium. So a little bit lighter than the sweet tiramisu and pumpkin spice latte variations, but it's still pleasant enough. It's kind of like, I guess, if you find Paris Cafe to be way too strong and way too intense and way too roasty, and want something a lot more watered down and lukewarm, then maybe check this out. And that's pretty much it for the performance on this candle. Overall, it's not a repurchase. Very much been there, done that, kind of redundant type of fragrance. I already have Sweet Tiramisu in my collection still from the very first release, and I've had a pumpkin spice latte before that I don't feel like I'm, approaching anything new or unique or exciting with this fragrance. It's just kind of like, okay, I've kind of smelled this before, and it's slightly different from those, but not different enough that I'm like gushing about it. So it exists. It's not bad, it's pleasant, but it's there. So if you, I guess, enjoy those other two fragrances and just want every variation of it, then check this out. But know that it is a little bit lighter than those previous iterations. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.